Welcome to the Empowered Entrepreneur, where strategy meets soul and leadership means more than just your job title. Now, if you're an entrepreneur or a fractional director, how you manage your mind is critical to your success. And that's what we're going to explore in this video today. So let's dive in. Now, in my coaching program, The Empowered Entrepreneur, we always start with mindset. Not because it's trendy, but because your mindset is the foundation for everything you build. You see, how you think is how you lead, and how you lead is how you scale. It's that simple. Your decisions, your offer, your client relationships, they are all shaped by your self-concept. And if that self-concept is cluttered, or it's stuck in old survive stories, or even worse, it's wired for over delivery, your business will reflect it. So we begin there, not with hustle, not with goals, but with clarity. So the first thing you need to understand is that the empowered version of you is already there. What we do is we help you to clear the noise so you can lead from a place of consistency. Here's what that actually looks like. First, we challenge the I'm just narrative, and this one is everywhere. I'm just a contractor. I'm just filling a gap. I'm just helping out. I'm just a small business. I'm just trying to get through this next quarter. Whether you're a fractional executive stepping into someone else's business or a founder trying to stabilize your own, that mindset shrinks your authority. Even if your actual contribution is massive, it's that habit of minimizing yourself, of talking yourself out of your own seat at the table, and your clients, whether they're hiring you as a trusted advisor or partnering with you on a long-term transformation, they will treat you as you position yourself. If you show up like a placeholder, they'll move on. So when you bring your thoughts into focus, they start to realize their flavor. You begin to notice what's really driving your behaviors. The stories that you've been running unchecked in the background. Stories like, I have to prove myself consistently. Clients won't pay for thinking, they'll only pay for doing. I'm replaceable, so I need to stay available at all times. It's safer to be helpful than to be bold. These beliefs may have started as protection, but now they are limiting. And when we name them, we get to replace them with something more useful, something more empowering, that's actually aligned with where you want to go and where you want to take your client. Next, we shift your value from activity to impact. Now, this is huge, especially for fractional leaders and entrepreneurs who come from a corporate or consulting culture. Most people are trained to measure their worth by how busy they look, time spent, Slack messages answered, emails sent before 7 a.m. But real value lives in the results you create, not the hours you log. It's that mindset that changes everything. You go from over delivery to intentional delivery. You stop being reactive and start being strategic. You see, you don't feel guilty anymore for charging what takes you less time because you know that's the point. And when you believe in that value, you can price confidently, build retainers that aren't based on availability, and attract clients who respect your time. You see, this just isn't theory. In the program, we embed this mindset by designing new positioning language, reviewing your offer structures, and role-playing real client conversations so that your belief doesn't break when someone pushes back. You see, you're not selling time, you're selling thinking, leverage, and ultimately transformation. The faster you own that, the stronger your business gets. Third, we build emotional fitness because mindset is not a one-off insight. It's a muscle. You see, here's the truth. Entrepreneurship or fractional leadership, it's emotional work. You are constantly holding ambiguity, managing egos, carrying outcomes without full control. So you need tools that help you stay steady. So we help you build weekly rituals into your workflow, not to fill your calendar, but to anchor your energy. So things like reflective journaling to catch unhelpful patterns before they spiral, or voice note check-ins so you hear the gaps between your logic and your story, or impact mapping where we trace your day's results back to intentional actions. These are small habits, but they're very powerful because they reconnect you to your center. And that's where empowered decision making lives. You start leading yourself, not just your work streams. Let's talk about how you can begin this shift today. One of the first tools we use is the thought loop. Here's how it works. When you find yourself stuck, maybe you're hesitating to raise your prices, or you're playing down your input on a job, pause and ask yourself, what am I telling myself right now? Where did that belief come from? Is the story true or just familiar? What would I do differently if I believe something more useful? It's simple, but it interrupts the loop, and awareness creates choice. One I like that you can try is the inner boardroom exercise. Imagine every voice in your head has a seat around a boardroom table. There's the doubter, the strategist, the people pleaser, the visionary. Your job isn't to silence them, it's to chair the meeting, to say, I hear you, doubter, but the visionary is leading the project. That's real self-leadership, not just letting the loudest voice win. And again, thoughts are like a dry tea bag. When you pay them attention, when you sit with them, when you reflect, they open up. You find clarity. So you find space to act from wisdom, not fear. Now, these ideas are great, but how do you maintain it over time? Well, you embed it. You see, this isn't about high performance hacks. It's about building steady rhythm that supports the way you want to lead. So some people in the program create a 15-minute CEO state every morning where they reset their posture, they review their values and reconnect with purpose. And they do this all before touching a single client task. Others do a Friday audit by asking themselves some deep questions. Did I lead with intention this week? Or did I default to proving myself again? You see, the Empowered Entrepreneur program gives you the framework and the community to do all of this consistently. Because left alone, most people slip back into the old bad habits. They isolate, they overwork, they forget they have agency. That's why I built this program, to support people around the challenge. You'll have a coach that will give you the tools, and you will have people around you to stay doing the work, even when it's uncomfortable, especially when it's uncomfortable. So let me leave you with this. Your business will only grow to a level of identity you can hold. If you still see yourself as a stopgap or as someone just filling in, your business will reflect that uncertainty, draining, and hard to scale. But when you start seeing yourself as a guide, as a catalyst, as a peer to lead, you serve. You stop chasing validation. You start building confidently, intentionally, with leverage. That's why we start with mindset, because once you shift how you see yourself, everything else becomes possible. Now, if that's resonated with you, click the like and subscribe button or leave a comment below. Your entrepreneurial journey will only be a success if you start viewing yourself differently.